Hello, my fellow fallible human. Welcome to Season 7, Episode 8. My name is Tanya McIntyre. I'm owner-operator of Red Roof Recovery, located in the beautiful lakeside town of Goderich, Ontario, Canada. Red Roof Recovery has been my passion for the past few years, and it has been an intricate part of my continued freedom from addictions and the successful management of my mental health without pharmaceuticals. Over time, I've come to realize what many of us in this headspace already know. Maintaining better mental health is about building mental health fitness. And on that note, Red Roof Recovery has evolved to Mental Health Fitness Alliance to change the conversation around mental health, moving from illness to wellness and from stigma to strength. Mental Health Fitness Alliance is about making mental wellness a necessity. Just like physical fitness strengthens our body, mental fitness strengthens our mind, helping us and organizations thrive in an increasingly complex world. We continue to feature real talk about mental health illnesses, some useful tools that you can try, supportive insights, and of course always a judgment-free lens on mental health and mental well-being. In this episode of the Red Roof Recovery Show, you're going to learn conscious communication for better mental health. At the core of our human experience is the longing to be seen, heard, and understood. From our first breath, we reach out for connection through sound, expression, and presence. Yet, as we grow older, many of us find communication can be filled with misunderstandings, defenses, and emotional distance. Why is something so natural often so difficult? Well, the answer lies not in our intellect, but in our pain. We carry within us stories, not just of our lives, but of our wounds, unhealed trauma, unmet needs, and longings buried beneath layers of adaptation and survival mechanisms, all shaping how we relate to others. When we are not aware of this inner conflict, we can find ourselves reacting instead of responding. We defend instead of listen. We control instead of connecting. What I've learned as a journalist for over 20 years and as a mental health professional for the past 7 years is that communication is not merely a skill. Communication can become a doorway to deeper self-awareness. I've learned to practice a few principles for more effective communication. These principles are not rules to follow, but rather invitations to return to your center, especially when it feels hardest to do so. So we want to start listening with our whole being. I know that sounds quite complex. Most of us don't truly listen, though. We wait, we judge, we prepare a response. But when we soften into presence, into mindfulness, when we give someone our full attention, we create the space where healing can begin. And let empathy lead. Empathy is not agreement. It's a courageous act of acknowledging the emotional truth of another person, even when it triggers discomfort in ourselves. This requires emotional maturity and inner safety, both of which can be cultivated with intention. And let's focus on being anchored instead of armored. When we feel threatened, we either reach for control or we retreat into silence. But strength lies in staying present, grounded in our breath, and choosing authenticity over defense. Let's speak our truth and our trauma. I don't know anyone who hasn't experienced some form of trauma. So using I statements can be very powerful, but only when they arise from clarity, not blame. Ask yourself, am I speaking to connect or to protect? Ask to understand, not to expose. Genuine curiosity fosters intimacy. Questions like, can you please help me understand what this feels like for you? Just that statement alone can disarm defensiveness and invite openness. Respect the dignity of disagreement. Love and agreement are not synonymous. You can hold space for difference without withdrawing your warmth or care. Protect your boundaries with kindness. Saying no can be an act of deep self-respect. It's not a rejection of others, but rather an honoring of your own limits. Apologize with integrity. A true apology is not about being wrong. It's about being real. It says, your experience matters to me more than my ego. Seek the healing, not just the outcome. When you speak, ask yourself, what am I really needing? Validation, reassurance, connection, and then offer the same kindness to yourself first. And reflect with compassion. Every difficult interaction can be a teacher for us. Not to shame yourself, but rather to grow in awareness, to see your patterns more clearly, and to begin to respond differently the next time. Better mental health does not mean that we never struggle. It means developing the capacity to witness our experience with compassion, to understand our inner voices, and to speak from the part of us that seeks connection, not control. Mastering communication is not about perfection. It's about presence. And from that presence, a more peaceful, connected, and meaningful life begins to unfold for you. It happens one conversation at a time. And if you would like some support building habits that nurture empathy, self-compassion, and deeper connection, I would love to hear from you. Connect with me at redroofrecovery@gmail.com. Together, we can take gentle, powerful steps toward your healing and life balance. Thank you so much for your continued support. I really appreciate you being here. And if you have found this helpful, it would mean a lot for you to share this with your friends and family. And most importantly, keep showing up for yourself. May the force be with you. And remember, you are the force.